I said you're in charge, Greg.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that. Good evening and welcome. This evening on are we doing Turkey Across? We are doing Turkey Across the Universe.
We're having fun tonight.
Put me on the spot, man. We are discussing the latest episode of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, and honestly, I don't even remember the title of it.
It is the Sailot who ate its tail.
The sailor who ate its tail.
Sailot.
Sailot.
Or the dog that caught the car.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. The English translation.
From the Vulcan, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Maybe I
Not
should be touching the whiskey. So after that rough start, the latest installment of this episode kind of got us back a little bit towards New Worlds and a little science fiction-y, and notably, I thought Paul Wesley did a little bit better capturing Kirk in his performance, seeing he was a significant player on this one. So I think we should go counterclockwise tonight, and we will start with Captain Cooper.
Ooh. What was that muttering under your breath?
Huh?
You muttered something under your breath.
No, I'm trying to get the words out because I got so flustered with being caught off guard. I was trying to get all my information ready, and Michael's like, "You're on."
Now you know how I feel half the time when he throws it at me. No, I 100,000% agree with you. For the first time this season, it has felt like Star Trek. It was riveting. It was a good throwback to some of the original stuff. I agree with you 100% about Paul Wesley. However, did any of you catch not the Riker maneuver, but the Jonathan Frakes maneuver that he did there at one point?
No.
What has Jonathan been accused of and will admit to that he has done frequently, including twice that he's broken one particular piece of equipment?
Put his foot on the console?
When he sits on the panels, on the consoles.
Oh.
And I really laughed when I saw Paul do that. I'm like, he is not pulling a Riker like he did, in the funny one. He actually pulled the Frakes, which I thought was really good. So
that's funny. I did not. That didn't even click.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
me either.
But no, we have a lot of different things to discuss with it. But looking at that now, maybe we do have hope for the final episodes. Hopefully they'll keep up this vein and keep going with it. All right, Aaron.
I thought it had problems, but I'll get to that a little later.
No, yeah, exactly. There were some, but a whole lot better than what it's been. Aaron, you want to pitch in on this?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And a good sign for me was that my partner usually watches the show with me, and the last two episodes he fell asleep in, and this one he watched right to the end. So
that's a good thing right there.
We turned to each other at the end and we're like, yeah, we enjoyed that. That was good, wasn't it? Yeah, the same as what the others have said. Like it felt more Star Trek. It had more sci-fi in it. I was kind of rolling my eyes at the fact that it was another Kirk episode because I'm like, this is Strange New Worlds. Why are we doing a show about Captain Pike before Captain Kirk and then putting Captain Kirk in it? But I was pleasantly surprised. Everyone had something to do. And I think what I really appreciated about the story, which was something I found out afterwards, was that I believe it's based on a throwaway line that Worf says in TNG. And a bit like my fascination with Rogue One as a movie is that they took that one line and turned a whole episode into it. And I think that was really cool. So yeah. And I can tell you the line, actually.
Please do.
I think it's from season 2 of TNG, and Wolf says, "My thoughts are of an old Klingon legend of a gigantic like space creature that is said to devour entire vessels."
Of course, he goes all garbledy.
Mhm.
Yes.
And that, I think, probably ties in with the line that Erica has, which is Klingons call it the Chachka? Chachka?
Chachka.
Yeah.
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 The Annihilator.
Chachka.
So there you go.
'Cause
So
I
yeah,
thought it sounded
if
like
that's true and it's
Chachki.
based on that, I think that's pretty cool.
Interesting. Good catch, Aaron.
Yeah, did not know that. Well, I mean, I enjoyed it. I watched it once, but sadly, I was distracted most of the time. I've been dealing with a lot of craziness, but I mean, it kept me awake. I didn't want to fall asleep, so I agree with other Aaron too. I did not want to fall asleep, so that's a good thing, because some of these other ones, I wanted to walk away, but I mean, this was good. This was good.
So I had thought it started out kind of rocky. They weren't promising me something new. I didn't know if we were going to get the planet killer before we got the planet killer. What did you think of how it started and the slow reveal of the monster ship?
I personally
you're right.
liked it.
Oh, sorry.
You go. Yeah.
No, I personally liked it because it tied in with the planet's name, and then some of the taglines that Kirk did with it I thought was pretty decent. But one thing that did get me is when he comes out on the bridge and he's thinking to himself, and as a nurse or anybody in the medical profession or whatever, you never say, oh, it's a slow day, it's a quiet day, I'm bored. Because if you say that, all holy hell is going to break loose. And the second those came out in his mind, I figured we're in for, what. So, yeah, I kind of liked how they did it. And then immediately, as soon as he's saying, beam down to the planet, and we have the planet killer come in and literally destroy the planet, I'm like, that's the reason your captain told you not to go down. Not to say that she knew something was coming, but there was things on the sensors that they were seeing they couldn't figure out. So I like how they did that. And then the reveal of the ship coming in. So go ahead, Aaron.
I think to Greg's point and to yours as well, it did sort of start off like very cliche, and it did look like it was going to draw in elements that we'd seen before, especially him coming on the bridge, and it to me it's just like arrogance. It's like, really, like, of all the things you have to do, and you're complaining about the fact that you're second in charge on a spaceship, like, it's like, maybe that's just to show his character growth at the end. I don't know. But yeah, I do appreciate your point, Greg, that it did start off a bit rocky just because it looked like it was going to rehash or bring up things that we'd already seen before. So yeah.
And also Kirk's monologue from the beginning of, I think it was the third new film, where he's like talking about, oh, it's boring. One day runs into the other. And,
oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that came up. And then, like, when they started, like, when the ship was getting attacked, it even was like, okay, are these Borg? And I'm like, did they mash the Borg and the cornucopia of doom? So, I mean, it even, it's like, I want to paraphrase you from a few weeks ago that I hated it until I didn't. Because, I mean, my wife even wanted to shut it off and play a video game. I mean, she just is like, just not impressed with the start of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 10 minutes, it was like, they're just rehashing stuff. But they pulled the elements together quite well, I think. Because when we did finally see the ship, it looked like they were borrowing from Firefly, and we had Reavers on our hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to me, I really liked the ship design. I thought it it looked like a monster, and when it was exploding at the end, the way it came apart made it seem more frightening. I think like it was an explosion in its mouth, and it opened up, I thought that was really cool. And you can see where the sort of reputation for this monster that ate ships came from. So I like that.
Oh, also, I mean the visualizations. I mean,
Oh yeah.
were amazing. You know, the Farragut itself, getting a better look at it, and you know, getting to see a warp nacelle ejection. You know, I thought that was clever. So I really appreciated the visuals of this. You know, of course, with this show, anytime you know we get a lot of interior shots and exterior shots, I'm excited because you know this to me is the modernization of the original series look that the J.J. Abrams movies should have had.
Yeah. Yep. Most definitely.
You know, they've really done a great job of honoring the original designs and making it more visually interesting for the modern screen.
One thing I did not care for, though, and I know they had to do that to incorporate, you know, Kirk's story because Kirk was on the Farragut. But in the original story, it was the Enterprise and the Constellation that ran into the Killer of Planets, not the Farragut.
Yeah. Well, this was also a different.
Well, this
thing.
was a
That
different. This was a different thing.
Yeah. So,
No, well, it was a totally different thing.
but it was still something that's like, you know, he's never in the original episode. Which I can't think of the title, but the original episode with the Planet Killer, you know, it was bigger, much bigger. Because when it devoured the ship, you know, the ship looked like a tiny speck.
Yeah.
This was, you know,
this looked more like
destroyed a planet, but it didn't like really obliterate the planet that we could tell.
It chopped it up and ate it.
Yeah. So, but when that happened in the original series, I mean, that whole something we've never seen before thing kind of goes off the charts because now we have something that you would have seen before.
Yeah.
Similar. You know, so, you know, I mean, it was visually cool. It was suspensefully cool. But, I mean, they could have, I don't know, they could have made it a little more obvious that it wasn't the Planet Killer in the very beginning.
I suppose if it didn't destroy a planet, that would have been a good thing. If it just
yeah.
was eating ships and that was it.
Yeah. Or damaging the planet or something, you know, somehow making it so, yes, it's extracting whatever from the planet. And, you know, and it did a lot of damage to it, but, you know, it didn't like blow it up to smithereens.
Yeah, well, I just felt it was very different from the original episode in Star Trek. So,
well, once they started bringing in, you know, once they showed it was something more mechanical and different, that you know, and especially when they brought the humanoids in those cool spacesuits, it was pretty good. You know, that it was obviously different, but it's, you know, it still wasn't clear if it was like something to do with the Borg or something to do with the space station that had the repair with the original Enterprise. Not the original Enterprise, but the NX-01 Enterprise.
Yeah.
And, you know, that, you know, took people. You know, was this something like that? You know, but, you know,
this one didn't seem to care about the people.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's kind of funny because when the individuals were on the Enterprise, and Pike actually had wounded that one, and then they were following. And when it had originally turned around right before it was wounded, and it had Pike on the ground, and then after it was wounded and it left, Pike asked, "Well, why didn't it kill me?" That right there should have given people who don't know the backstory a kind of a hint as to, is it humanoid or does it recognize humanity? Because later on, when Pike is talking to Kirk, he makes the comment of, well, either they saw us and didn't care, or they didn't, recognize us, as the same species, basically. And I'm like, but that one did. So who's to say all on board were the same, just going out and killing and devouring everything? Because as we found out later, they were all descendants from, people from Earth. So, just I don't, that part bothered me, to have that look, and then he realized, that
They didn't really get into the detail of their
yeah,
hierarchy on that ship. We just
true.
got the little bit, and ship blew up. So
Yeah.
Can I just say I really appreciated the fact that there was 7,000 people on that ship and there were 2 of them on the Enterprise.
I know, that was funny.
Just thought that
But think about how small the Enterprise was compared to that great big ship.
And on that note, I like how when they go through the corridors of the Enterprise, they make a comment the fact that like gas has been released on other decks on the ship and there's no dead bodies anywhere. There's no struggling crew.
Uh-huh.
Those people that boarded the ship didn't happen to see a human dead on the floor before. It was very funny to me. It reminded me of an original series episode where it was just the primary cast and one guest star.
Yeah.
Yeah, the absence of crewmen was kind of weird because it's like, we didn't really hear a general quarters call. It did. It just seemed like there was 6 people on the Enterprise. They didn't have anybody. Oh, that was something we should probably talk about, is the wired telephones. But they didn't have a whole crew pulling wires to get the communication system going.
But no, since you mentioned that, what I thought was so funny is when she said, "I'm glad I lived through the 80s," and then she's telling them, "Well, this is the communication. I haven't done this since I did wiring and communication for the dead." And I forget who it was. Was it Garcia? Was it Erica that said, "Oh, you can communicate. Your species can communicate with the dead"? That was good.
Yeah, that was funny. But I was also surprised that it ended up being real wired phones and not like walkie-talkies.
Oh, that would have been better. But would the signal have been interrupted?
I
though?
think the signal might have been interrupted because they were saying they were having troubles with that.
Yeah, but it was just. I don't know. It's just old school radio. Maybe that was.
But
okay.
they can use old school radio. They've done it before. And so they would have done that. So I think all that kind of communication over the air, because they was talking about how the wires were shielded with, I think it said copper and everything.
Copper wiring, just like what we used to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it only needed like what, a 3-volt current,
if that.
Something like that, yeah. I did appreciate the sound effect though, when number one was like, okay, when when she figured out how to get that little extra thrust by opening up the airlock, and you can hear her put down the phone and then go running. You can kind of hear that echoing of her running, and I thought that was a nice touch that they threw in.
Yes. Although I didn't understand how they got dial tone without a central office.
Good point.
Maybe Pella had something hooked up to that.
When she originally was going, I have something for this, before she pulled out the phones, she pulled out the Atari, and that's how I thought they were going to direct the ship, because it's a stick. It's like, is she going to figure out some way to wire this in and do the stick with it?
That and the silly cat clock.
Oh, I know.
That was actually one of the reasons I wanted to go back and rewatch the episode, was to like go
See what she
slowly
was
through all
about.
the crap in Pelia's quarters. Because I mean, that was like such a fun set dressing,
Oh yeah.
and we didn't get to see it that much.
Not really, no.
Mm-mm.
And I like how the doctor had said it's exactly the way I pictured it.
Yes. I also couldn't tell if Mbenga's character was like genuinely smiling in amusement or the actor was having trouble suppressing his amusement.
But that could have been too. That could have been too.
'Cause it was really hard. It was like he was smiling but trying not to.
It could very well have been.
I'm just watching back that part. Yeah, you're right.
I think there was a lot of ad libbing that Carol Kane did in this
He
because
might
there
have
were,
thrown it through the people.
yeah, there were 2 or 3 things that she threw out there. One being, I didn't live 5,000 years to keep getting shot or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's just there was just some off things that you wouldn't expect, and they were just. I really think they were kind of ad libbed.
See, it's like people like her and the character of Janet Reno in Discovery.
Oh God, yes.
Her dry delivery. It's like that level of comedy helps.
It does.
It's enjoyable. It's situational. It's not forced. But it's like when they try to do something forced is when it fails.
Yeah, because it feels forced and it's not funny.
Yeah. So I mean, having that little bit of lightness, is genuine. And of course, Scotty's a trip too.
Oh yeah, and the one thing I appreciate is the actor is really Scottish. So some of the lines he threw out. There was one where it was like, your ass is basically in the wind.
Yes.
And it was a 100% Scottish euphemism.
Yes.
Yeah, and I almost wonder if the writers are going to him, the actor, and saying, "Okay, you're from Scotland. What would work in this situation?"
But on the other hand, his accent seems overdone.
Yes.
I know. And that's
And
And he
like,
might
almost
be, and
to
he
the
might be
point-
doing that because of Scotty from the original series.
he might.
So
be.
you have a Scottish person affecting a Scottish accent, and my wife and I have to have subtitles like it's Welsh.
I have watched him give interviews, and that's what he just sounds like that. So.
Oh
I think
my
that's just
God,
his-
his accent's
yeah.
really
Really
that
does.
thick?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, check out. There's some online when they were doing the premiere for Series 3, and he's like interviewed with Jess Bush. So it's really funny actually because she's obviously very Australian and he's very Scottish. But yeah, I think
Because I mean, I've heard like David Tennant drop back to his natural accent, and
Yeah.
it's thick, but I can still understand him.
he's actually from the same place as David Tennant from Paisley.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Now,
Well, my apologies then to the young actor because I really expected he was souping it up for character.
Wow. I did not know that either. Like I said, the only thing I knew is he actually was Scottish.
I knew that too, which was why I'm like, I can usually understand Scottish people unless it's like somebody playing somebody from the islands.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, the same way, people play somebody from Maine and they've got that over the top down east accent, which very few people have anymore.
It's funny. You talk on screen, and I don't hear an accent from you that much at all.
I grew up in Connecticut.
Okay, that would
So
explain
I've got, like, when the accent does come in, sometimes it's a little bit New York, sometimes it's a little bit Boston. But I've I was already in my 20s when we moved to Maine.
Okay.
And even then, my landlord had a bit of that down east accent, but you know, the only other person we knew in the area was my son's first grade teacher. Oh my God, that's so funny. A 6-year-old coming home and he's starting to talk like he's got a down east accent. That was a riot.
I know that when I'm around friends and relatives that are all from the South, my accent will slip right back into it. And I
Oh,
haven't been around that for years.
if I'm on meetings all day with just people from Texas, it like hits me. It's like I pick that up so quick.
It's contagious.
Yeah.
It's very contagious. It's like it's so casual and so laid back to those of us from the Northeast that, it's just, oh wow, this is refreshing.
Well, Greg, at least you fit in with your work group.
Oh well, sometimes.
Hmm.
Sometimes
All right.
I think I'm a bit too geeky for them, even though a lot of them have their own geekdoms.
Hmm. Hmm. See, Aaron doesn't slip into an American accent when he's with us. He's good.
I
Nope.
try very hard not to. I really like accents, and like if we're in a shop and someone has like an Irish accent, I will try my hardest to not speak back to them with a Scottish accent. Just because I watched like when you're growing up, especially in a country that imports most of its media, I watched a lot of British TV. I watched a lot of American TV. So yeah, defected sometimes when I was watching stuff. So yeah.
It's hard not to.
It's exciting. It's fun that people talk differently.
Yeah.
We had, I noticed that Terry Pratchett's Color of Magic 3-part miniseries is on Amazon Prime in the US, and we've been watching that. So Tim Curry's in it, so it's really hard not to pick up his cadence because he's got such a dramatic way of speaking about things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that before we went live, I had said if you guys had caught the Easter egg or not. Aaron said he caught it, but I'm going to post it up here and see if you guys.
Okay, I'm looking for this because I want to know what I missed.
So, do you see it?
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
I did miss that.
Yep. So that was so cool. And some of the behind the stuff said, I guess they had wanted to get together because they really want to do a crossover at some point. They really want to do a crossover. And I guess during season 2's first or second episode of Doctor Who, they had actually made a comment of, well, that's how the Enterprise did it with this particular episode.
That's right, they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember they made a Star Trek reference. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if poor Greg is froze or he just has.
I think he froze. He froze, not the screen.
That's what I think.
It would be very cool if they did a Doctor Who episode from the TARDIS perspective, being on the monster ship,
Yeah.
but oblivious to the Star Trek events going on, and then just all of a sudden it has,
Yeah.
unscheduled disassembly and
Because
or not oblivious to the events of the Star Trek episode.
Yeah, because in the Doctor Who episode, they say that they're going to go off and check out, and they make reference a little bit to this huge ship, and then they disappear. Now, is that where they wound up? Is they landed there and got stuck, in this ship and couldn't get out? And when the Enterprise and the Farragut blew everything open, that's how they escaped? Or was it just that they were just kind of waiting to disappear? You know how the TARDIS
Interesting.
goes in and out.
I
But yeah,
completely missed that. See, I was looking for the other clues about what made up the ship, and I didn't even see that. But I did clue in that the original ship might have been the original ring ship
uh-huh.
that was in the motion picture, because the hull kind of looked like it with the U.S. flag on it.
Well, yeah. No, that's exactly I think what it was.
But
Because
I
they were
didn't think that crew. Well, I mean, 20 generations, 8 people to 7,000 in 20 generations.
yeah, severely mutated DNA, I'll tell you that much.
Well, that may be why they're all sociopathic.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You know? But here's the thing, they're definitely going to have to interact with multiple partners, to produce, and even maybe children interacting with somebody else's parent or whatever, just to get
Well, I
that.
mean, 20 generations. I mean, a society is going to. I mean, there's been other science fiction about generational ships. So, although one of them, the ship never left Earth. It was an experiment that was Earthbound.
Yes.
It was very strange.
It was. Yeah.
But
Well, okay. Oh, why can't I think of the stupid name of it? You talking the 100?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I can't even remember the name of it. It's like it
It
was.
had 3 episodes. It was a miniseries.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. I don't know then. Because I was going to say, even.
7. Was it 7 or what was her number from Battlestar? Was it 7 or 9? 9. She was in it. She was the
That's
star.
Voyager.
No, it's
No,
from the
6.
6. That's it. I knew it was a
Okay,
number.
yeah.
Yeah. She's in it. She's the main. Well, she's one of the
Mother
main
Nature
stars.
from Lucifer.
Yes, exactly. Couldn't remember what number they used for Battlestar. That was bad.
The ship, breakdown into like all the different pieces was pretty cool. I was trying to catch more of the sorry, you can see some of my junk. I was trying to catch more of the different pieces. I was hoping to actually see like noticeable pieces of Klingon ships and stuff.
Did you see anything else that looked familiar?
I mean, once they focused in on the big section with the U.S. flag at the end, it was kind of hard to,
Look at other things.
Else.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was cool. I mean, once it picked up, it picked up. Even though it seemed like they mishmashed a whole bunch of other stuff, I think they did the mishmash was well. I thought the interactions with Kirk, Uhura, Scotty, and Spock were fun, knowing that Kirk is gonna be their captain someday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The one thing you said about mismatch from other stuff, the thing that I kind of found, it was kind of a giveaway, a phone in. It wasn't really too much creative writing on this, was the airlock. Because I have seen it in a Voyager episode, I have seen it in an Enterprise episode, and I believe I've seen it actually in a Next Gen episode. But don't quote me on that. But it's like, why are we rehashing the same thing for propulsion? You're
Number one
smiling.
obviously had also
Next
seen
Generation
it as
was a
well.
shuttle deck.
That's how she knew how to do it.
But I like the way they did it in this. I don't know. It seemed like they did it best in this episode.
I found it. Well, the generational thing, Ascension.
Ascension.
Oh, it was Ascension. Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think I started watching it and didn't particularly care for it.
Yeah, I liked it at first, but by the end of it, I'm like,
The end of it, I wasn't too thrilled with. No.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we're off topic, of course. But you know.
Yeah.
That's how we know that these Strange New Worlds episodes are so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But no, this was a good one. You know, for the Spock Kirk interactions, I thought were really good. I thought Paul Wesley did a better job of capturing Kirk, but avoiding overacting.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
It's like, at first, I'm like, my wife and I are like, why did they cast him as Kirk? He's the most un-Kirk-like actor. Chris Pine did a better job at first. And, you know, I can see him not wanting to play Chris Pine or Shatner. I can see him wanting to do his own thing. But, like, word choice, mannerisms. I mean, this was the first time I saw that with him. You know, the way he sat in the captain's chair.
Yeah.
There was something he did, and it was. I remember turning to my wife and saying, "I think that's the first line he's delivered that I've seen Kirk in him," and she agreed with me. And it wasn't that he had Shatner's cadence or anything. It was something about the way he held his face and his body.
I agree with you, Greg, because I love Paul Wesley, and from the get go, everybody's saying, "Oh, he shouldn't be Kirk. He shouldn't be Kirk." And I'm like, "Well, let's give him a chance." But in the same token, I'm watching this, and I'm still seeing Stefan Salvatore from Vampire Diaries. I'm still seeing that breakthrough, and yet when you have other actors play different roles after they played them.
Oh, no,
Well, see, somebody censored her. She was saying something bad.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. But I don't know what all you heard or what you didn't hear.
After Salvatore, seeing him after someone plays blah blah blah, then it got
Yeah,
garbled.
okay, like different actors, and I will take supernatural actors. Both have been in other shows since Supernatural. I have not seen from day one either Jared character coming out as Sam ever, and what he's done. I have not seen Jensen's, especially in his new show Countdown. I do not see Dean come out unless
Yep.
he's specifically doing that role, like a role he's doing right now for Tracker as one of the brothers. Okay, and he's making it a little bit Dean-esque. But other than that, they have broken completely away from their stereotypical roles. Paul, I think, had a hard time doing that at first. Hopefully, he will ease into the role and get better with it. Because I agree, his mannerisms have gotten better with Kirk.
Well, maybe that goofy episode with the Miss Murder Mystery helped him. I mean, he had to do this, you know, the Saturday Night Live
Yeah.
version of
Yeah.
Shatner for that. So maybe that pulled him a little bit
You got it out of
away.
the system? Could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
I just think we are spoiled by more of the you know, these modern actors that have the acting chops to play different characters.
Yeah.
Pike, you know, he's an example.
Oh, Anson Mount, my God.
Anson Mount. I mean, it's like, you know, when I first saw him as Pike, I didn't recognize him from anything else, but I knew he was in other stuff I'd seen.
He's been in a lot of things. Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
performance-wise, visually, yes, but I mean, performance-wise, it's
Performance-wise.
like so. I mean, that was refreshing. But and then you see him be himself, and it's like he's nothing like any of these characters.
No, not at all.
Well, he's a little bit like Pike, but only on
It's
occasion. Or Pike's
it's funny
a little bit
actually.
like him.
When I was watching some of the interviews when the season started, he said in an interview that Pike is the most like him as a character,
Mhm.
like as a person.
Yeah, I've heard him say that too.
Yeah, but he seems to be like a person who he himself likes to have a lot more fun, but doesn't get to play comedic roles because he's a good dramatic actor.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because he seems very funny when he's himself.
Mm.
The so we talked about the generation ship. What do you think about the human face reveal? Were you expecting it to be people? Were you expecting it to be nothing? Or what?
I thought it was going to be people, humanoid.
You did?
Yep.
I really didn't. I didn't think so because of the armor they were wearing. It just didn't look human to me.
Well, the armor didn't look human, but when you pulled back the shield and how much of what they've accumulated over how many centuries?
Yeah. So
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. How about you, Aaron?
I think as soon as there was that reaction when Pike's mask fell off and they ran, I think that was probably. I knew that by the end of it probably would turn out to be a person, a human. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what to make of that particular thing. I'm like, I wasn't sure if maybe the phaser wasn't working or he didn't know how to use it or what.
yeah.
I just think it was because he looked down on him and kind of saw another humanoid and associated with that.
Yeah, but I mean, everything about the ship would have said that it was Earth was a big part of where the ship came from. I mean, all the signage is in English.
Yeah. And one would assume they speak English because it was an American shuttle that blasted them off. So
Yeah,
even
but I
though
mean, the English could have evolved. I mean, the alphabet may not have, but the language would have.
yeah, and that was actually one thing that did truly bother me, is when people are talking about all these different places where they've heard the same story of the destroyer of worlds. Even Leon says even the Gorn are afraid of him. Now, how far back, to me, if the Gorn are afraid of him, it goes back thousands of years, not a few hundred. So I think they kind of screwed up the timeline on that a little bit.
What makes you think that?
It just, the Gorn are an evil, at this point, race. And it's just, they are, I don't know how to explain it. They're so focused in what they do and have had such creativity, with wiping out and the breeding farms, making their own, humanoid food. They've gone on for centuries. I don't see how they could be afraid of something like this unless it was truly older than what the Gorn are. Because the Gorn would have adapted and destroyed it beforehand, especially when it was smaller. Because each year or each world that this thing conquers, it gets bigger and badder. So why
Yeah,
did Gorn wipe them out early on?
It may also be the idea of legend. So, like, if there is communication between species, the Klingons told the Vidians told the Romulans, the Romulans told the Gorn. But it doesn't seem like the Gorn would really interact with anybody else either.
No.
But
and they seem to go into hibernation a lot. So
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, one last round for any last thoughts? Liz.
I think.
Oh, Aaron.
Darren, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. I was going to say the one thing that confused me at the end of the episode was when Spock fires on the ship and how he knew where to hit it. I realized afterwards that it had to do with the Klingon ship that they're talking about in the briefing room, but that was one thing that I was like, oh, I didn't understand. Or was it the Klingon ship? Was it the nacelles that he fired on?
It
What did he
looked like
fire
a
on to destroy the
plasma
ship?
stream just way back in the butt end of the ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just looked like an open
I'm
plasma
still confused
stream.
by that. That's all.
And was he aiming to hit maybe the Klingon ship that was in there? You know, whatever it still had. You know, in the nacelles or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
It just like at the end, just their exchange was so confident that I was like, oh, should I have known what this
Yeah.
is? So yeah, that was the one thing that I was like,
Yeah, I agree. That was unclear how he knew what to target. So now, Liz.
But basically, you kind of just said the same thing. I just hope it goes forward from here, getting better.
Hopefully.
No,
No.
I will agree with Liz. I don't have anything else to say about the episode, but I'm hoping that the rest of the season, because there's only 4 more episodes, so I'm hoping they're good.
Yeah.
Any announcements for any of the crew? Nothing new coming out, Aaron?
afraid not.
Oh well. Anything in the works?
No,
Do you know what? I would say this episode, good Star Trek episodes inspire me to want to make more Star Trek. So I am slightly inspired by this.
so Greg is going to finance your next film. Is that correct?
Whoops.
Yes,
Well,
Greg.
here's the thing for both Greg and Aaron. You guys came up with the idea. Why don't you do a Doctor Who themed Star Trek of what you just said? That the Doctor lands on this thing. It's all from his perspective.
Well, I would have to do something else, and I mean, maybe do like one of the things that had come out of Oklahoma years ago, and then they started doing them out of Georgia, were these Federation File shorts,
Yeah.
where they basically had like a lower crewman doing something else during an episode.
It was almost like a
So-
beginnings Lower Decks.
Yeah. So I mean, I would have to suggest that maybe not give Disney the opportunity to do their crossover if this was supposed to be the hint towards it.
Well, Disney's not. Looks like Disney's out from Doctor Who. So
Yeah, they are.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well,
Unfortunately.
there's still a mini series to be put out on Disney. So I think
but
that's
I think that's it.
Mm.
yeah.
Interesting.
They had like a 20-something episode deal, and so that miniseries is part of those episodes. So
And
I
then
think
no
that
more.
they're waiting to see how that goes before they
Mhm.
have an official thing on it.
Interesting. Okay, well maybe BBC will. We'll see what BBC will do.
I mean, apparently they Russell T Davies back in 2005 wanted to do a crossover with Enterprise, but
Yes.
obviously that finished before they started the
Yeah.
show again. So yeah,
No,
Yeah,
I
we'll just
I
have
think
to
it would be a lot of fun. Even if it's something where like the two, the crew and the Doctor never even interact. If it's something like behind, going on behind the scenes of what's going on, and
Yeah, I agree.
I think
I
that
suppose
that
the
would
hard
be
thing is that like Doctor Who has established Star Trek is a show in the universe, so
Mhm.
how they get around that, I would be interested to see.
Well, they've
Yeah.
definitely made it canon in the universe, so
Yeah, so we'll see.
Maybe it could be a causality loop
ooh, that
in
could
the
be
Doctor
good.
Who universe.
Or another holodeck story.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, ooh, that could be good too. Or better yet,
fun.
the TARDIS beams into the holodeck, and they think it's a holodeck program.
Yeah. Michael, what's going on Talented Universe this coming week?
Yeah, I agree with Liz.
What's not going on is a better way to put it.
Yeah, no, we have three, at least, at least three shows coming up. Let me get on to the page so I can remember what they are because they change every day. Do we have two? We have, oh, so this isn't even the updated list. Wait a minute. See, I haven't even uploaded the upgraded one. On the 19th, we have two vertical actor drama actors. Aaron Orcutt is at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. And later in the day at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, we have Riley Nottingham. And then this is one that Greg has to come to. On the 20th, Sined and Sean Persad, writers from The Librarians, the next chapter, will be on at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there might be some more too, but I'm working on those.
My wife and I were just talking about writers earlier today. It's like she would love to like write down like life experiences, so they don't get lost, and things about her mother and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and I'm like, yeah, you should. I mean, that's what like the Moth Hour on PBS on Sunday nights is like all about. It's like all about like these life experience stories. And I'm like, but I wonder if the difference is because they're actually writers that they're engaging. So, I'm always interested to talk to people with different talents than myself. Writing, especially screenwriting, is certainly something that
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
we wouldn't
definitely.
have these stories without them.
That is true. That is true. Well, I guess we should probably close down then.
Yeah, no Roger this week. That's
No Roger this week.
Hope he's well. If you're watching, Roger, hope you're well.
Yeah, and I won't be here for the next 2 weeks, so.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I noticed you programmed it already, so I don't have
I
to think
program
about
next week. I'm going to program the next one too, just in case.
Okay. So you'll be sending us the links, Liz?
Obviously, I just can't watch the show, but I can send you the links.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And if for whatever reason it gets lost in the next whenever, I can send them to you without a problem.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, have a great night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.